with Behind the Bikini, and we are on episode number 107. I got it right
Are you
this week.
sure? You sure?
Well, if I got it wrong, I'll just swap the card in again. We'll just it is what it is. We
Editing.
we all know we don't know how to count. We've been here for a minute, so so before we get into today's topic, which is going to be on skincare, makeup, what's in our makeup bag. This was a suggestion from you guys again after we did that what's in your gym bag situation. Got this suggestion of skincare and makeup and all the fun things. So that's what we're going to do today. But before we do that, like, comment, subscribe, hit the buttons wherever they are on your devices. And we are a month out from the Olympia.
Crazy.
I know.
Absolutely wild.
I know,
How did
right?
that happen?
I don't know. I don't know. It's so like, and it was funny. I was watching one of the podcasts that was talking about the Olympia or the point standing changes and everything. And they were saying, they were like, yeah, we'll talk about that once we get through this year's Olympia. I was like, that's a good point. I was like,
It's fair.
they had to put it out. I mean, you have to do that now because the new qualification system starts, next week, basically. So it's like you've got to get the rules out. But I think we've even had a few clarifications since the rules came out. Like one of the things we talked about was natural shows. So we
Ben
now
Weider.
have confirmation that Ben Weider is going to qualify you for the Olympia if you win as a natural athlete. Because that was something that I was like, well, now what? Do natural athletes now have to win two shows? Because it was, Ben Weider got you in. That is still the case this coming year.
Correct.
So we did
Yes.
get clarification on that. So at least we do know that. Have we heard anything about Masters yet? I don't think so. I haven't heard anything about Masters.
No, when I asked that when we were at the road to the Olympia, they were like, we have time for that. So they're just trying to figure
Yeah.
out, I think, the open right now, knowing that Masters Olympia just ended and we have literally 2 years till that show is coming around. So I'm sure
Yeah.
what we just have to get, like everybody's saying, through the Olympia until like the
Yes.
end of the season. Like the time for coaches and the organization to catch up is usually November, December when things
Yes.
start slowing down.
That's right.
However, I feel like these new qualifications are going to make the shows post Olympia a little bit more busy than they
Mhm.
typically are. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how things really change up with the qualification process, the new
Right.
qualification process.
Well, and we have to start thinking strategy. I should talk about that with one of my pro athletes yesterday or not yesterday, it was Tuesday when we did your check-ins. I said, she's one of those ones that has gotten in the top five but hasn't won a show. I said, so our strategy next year can't be to win two shows. Our strategy next year has to be to collect points. I mean, we got to pick shows that you can easily travel to and you can compete several times and can potentially get top fives, and then that way we can build up the points. You know what I mean? We got to go at it from a different strategy depending on who you are as an athlete.
Yeah, for pros now, it's like the amateur years of, saving for the national circuit,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Right.
we say as coaches, you're probably not going to get it the first time, so you need to
That's
be
right.
able to have enough funds to be able to do 2 to 3 shows if you're that competitive.
That's right.
Pros need to be the same way at this point. We don't have to pay for the entry fees, which is obviously nice, but that's very little in the grand scheme of things of what we pay. We still have to pay for hair and makeup and tanning
Travel.
and travel and, all
Mhm.
the big ticket items. So, that's what I'm telling all of my pro athletes now too is, save for next year so that we
Right.
have plenty of room to be able to go show to show to show and, rack up points.
Yep. And also, like we've talked about several times, I mean, this is where we got to keep the body healthy. We can't be doing show to show to show to show if you are depleted as fuck your first couple of shows because you're just not going to survive.
Or dense,
Yeah.
because the longer that you're, off stage, you're going to be running through tissue. So
Right.
now is the time to be making sure that you're, mm, getting the size that you need, but also
Yep.
making sure that it's dense muscle, not
Right.
just, sarcoplasmic versus full density. So it's,
Right.
I don't know. It's going to be, I'm excited for it. I really am.
Yeah.
I'm excited. It's going to be an added challenge for sure.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting too because I saw your post a few days ago where you're talking about I've never looked like this, and just the way that your hamstrings and your glutes look now versus what they used to look like, right? And that was always something that we've talked about as far as your weakness and what you needed to work on, and you've really put in the work to be able to do that. And that was something that I said in my check-in to Jamie yesterday. I'm like, I've been off season for almost a full year now at this point, right? Coming up in December. And this is the first time when I'm watching myself in my progress photos walk into the back and my hamstrings aren't jiggling. You know what I mean? Because it's density now. And people underestimate what that looks like, and how much time it takes to achieve that. And it's like I'm doing this now. It's like, yeah, it feels like an off season of a year or more is a long time. but it's not to build that full dense, quality tissue. And it's taken me this long to get there. This is by the time I actually do get into prep again, by the time we have the pro season schedule out, it will be over a year that I'll be completely out of prep, and completely in an off season building program. And obviously I didn't, this is the other part too, we talked about this too, I didn't blow up in weight. I'm still within 10 pounds of my stage weight, and I've stayed relatively conditioned, relatively lean this whole time for that reason, because again, you put that muscle on, you're going to have to tear it back off a little bit when you start to diet down again. And for you, I mean, you've stayed in shape this whole time so that you can build that tissue that sticks.
Yeah, and I think it's, we get excited when we start to see lines or we start to see that lagging body part come up. For me, it was my tie-ins, and it was like when you first start seeing them, some girls are like, "All right, cool, I have it. It's time to prep." No, like if you're just seeing it, we can make an argument that it's not dense tissue yet. It's a good sign that things are going in the right direction. It's there, you're getting the shape, but do you truly have the density to hold on to when you start going into that cut? So it's one thing to get it, and then it's another thing to keep it,
That's right.
So spending more
Absolutely.
time off stage, like we always say, is best. And what we're talking about right now is the pros that are going to be going show to show to show to show and making sure that they have the density, that their food can stay nice and high, that hormones are in a good spot. That's going to be the game of chess in terms of, being healthy enough to do this.
Right.
And some athletes are going to underestimate, maybe the density that they have, or, cutting their prep short and not getting their calories up high enough. And they're not going to be able to have the longevity that they need to, be in the points race.
Right.
So now's the time to, make sure that you're doing all those things. I mean, honestly, now it's a little past that. You should have
Yeah.
been doing that, this whole year. I
Yeah.
keep telling my consult calls now, the girls that are getting ready to prep next year, we're already in like a pre-prep phase, because
Yeah.
the holidays are coming up. Everybody's going to be overeating, everybody's
Yep.
going to be traveling. It's a really hard time to grow, November, December. So really the pre-prep starts then,
Yep.
because we're just trying to maintain through the holidays, and then January 1st everybody starts prep again.
That's right. Well, that's what I said to my girl a couple weeks ago. It was like, I don't know, yeah, her checking probably 3 weeks ago. I said, listen, I said, we have a very limited amount of time left. I said, I'm gonna start pushing the food harder. I said, because I said we need to do it right now. I said, because then we have to start cutting, like you said, in January. It is what it is. Like, I want you to be in a good place when we get through the holidays, just like you said. So that way you don't have to feel like you have to go way off. And this has been really good for her specifically too, as far as getting rid of like the food noise and things like that as well. It's been a very, very productive off season. And that's what you have to think about too when you go into next season for shows, because let's say you do rack up a bunch of points at the beginning of the season, you think you're safe, you don't know until the end. You don't know until the end. So you have to stay within striking distance pretty much the whole year if you're going to try to qualify on points, because you got to be ready to be like, okay, well, I don't know if I'm safe. I got to jump back in, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, the season that I talked about this last time, that the last season they took away the points, I was in the points race
Yeah.
and I had to stay lean. I was like first or second in the points for several weeks, but Jamie was like, you need to stay tight because if
Yep.
somebody else comes behind you, we need to be able to hop into a show and get those points again. So that's going to be it. A lot of people are going to have to stay super, super tight
That's
and
right.
do like this flip flop of like, okay, I'm off for 3 weeks. Oh, I'm down 5 points now. So now I got to hop into a show, try to get a top five. And that's what is gonna make this season extremely interesting. That's why we wanted the points back, because it's
That's
gonna
right.
it's gonna make that race extremely,
That's
it's
what
gonna
makes
be
it
tight.
fun.
It's gonna be
It's
tight,
what makes it fun.
especially those last 3 to 4 weeks before the cutoff, when you're gonna see athletes coming out, flipping around, coming
Yep.
back in. That's like the like go time.
Yep. And this is what I said. So I talked to John with the Pro Bikini News Network, whatever, yesterday. I did his podcast yesterday. And I said, he asked me why I haven't been covering as many shows as far as wrap ups and reviews. I said, because it's boring. I said, we have no storylines to follow. I said, once we get into next year where we got storylines with the point system again, it's going to be fun. I was like,
It's
people,
true.
like, every show is a show. Like, we don't follow the show for the shows. We follow the shows for the athletes, So when we have a storyline to follow with the athletes, it's so much more fun. Like, it's so much more interesting. It's interesting to see like what their strategy is going to be, what they're going to do next, like, because when we think about it and we go back to it, like all of the top 10 this year from the Olympia, either they didn't compete because they didn't need to, they're qualified, like Laura Lee and, top three is all qualified, or they competed enough to get qualified and then they stopped, you know? So it's like we have nobody to really like, okay, what's her next move? What does she look like? Is she gonna do better at this show? Is she gonna do better at that show? We got nothing that nothing. We got nothing this year. It's fucking boring. You know? Like
Yeah.
like the point system makes it interesting and fun and storylines to follow, you know? Who's the
I think that's
underdog? Who's gonna
also a reason
qualify?
why, like, the hype around the Olympia might be, like, smaller this year
100%.
is
Agreed.
because it's like we're not seeing the athletes
That's
on
right.
stage, and a lot of people are keeping what they look like right now really close to chest, so it's like, what we don't have anybody to talk
That's
about
right.
because we're not
We
seeing
don't know.
anybody.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. I agree with that. Like the biggest part of bodybuilding that people forget is it's not about the shows, it's about the athletes, it's about the personalities, about the people. Like that's what keeps us ingrained in it. Like I've said it from the beginning. The reason why I started was because of Aaron Stern. You know, Aaron Stern was my role model, the person that I looked at and I followed everything she did. You know, we don't have any storylines right now. You
Yeah.
know, like the
Yep.
only storylines that we have right now are going on in the men's open, like Urs coming out and qualifying, like that's a good storyline, you know, Sam
Keon
Dowd,
switching to open.
Keon, yeah, absolutely. And like Nick Walker trying to come in and like prove everybody wrong. Like those are the storylines that we're following. That's why they're popular because that's all that we got. You know, like that's it. That's all we got.
I was literally just about to say that, like, the guys side right now is the most
Mhm.
interesting. All the men's physique guys that
Yeah.
are fighting with each other every other day. Like,
So
it's
much
like
drama.
bodybuilding, what's a Real Housewives of bodybuilding.
Right? Yeah. It's that is the funny part. It's like the men's physique guys are so much more dramatic.
So dramatic. So
That's so
dramatic. Love
funny.
you all. Yeah, and none of you watch this podcast, but if you
I know
happen to
none
have
of
a
them watch us,
girlfriend.
so we can talk shit. It's okay. They don't watch us anyway.
Oh man, it's
But
true
it
though.
it
It's
is.
true. I mean,
It
Freddie
is.
was even saying that at RGV at Friday night check-ins. He said he just got off the phone with Jim, and he was interviewing Aaron Banks, and the men's physique guys were checking in. He's like, Aaron, tell these guys, about all the drama and like how to be a respectful athlete. And I was just hearing from Jim, he wants all this shit to stop and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to nix it in the butt, but boys will be boys.
That's right. That's right. I mean, that's the thing. It's like that as silly as that is, and I don't personally like to engage in that myself, but it's what keeps us engaged in the sport too.
Right.
The drama keeps us there, it just
Totally.
is what it is.
Like,
So
not everybody can win on
that's
October
right.
11th, but one will
That's
win,
right.
but they
Yeah.
all think they're winning.
That's right. That's right. Well, and here's the thing too. It's like maybe they may not win the title, but they may win like sponsorships or whatever from it, whatever it may be, a different endorsement deal or something because of their personality. You know what I mean? So that all plays into the pot too. You know?
That's actually funny that you said that because that was Aaron's statement. He was like,
Yeah.
I've won an Olympia, I think a few, and I haven't won within the last couple of years. He's like, but I just opened up my third business. My two
Yeah.
kids are fed. I have
Yeah.
anything I can want in life. Like, clearly I'm still winning.
That's
Like
right.
life is working out for me.
That's right.
Um, and that's it's not what you do, or it's not the title, it's what you do with the title.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like we talk about that too, because like, people always want to see Jen Dory come back. And I'm like, I don't think she's ever gonna come back, to be perfectly honest with you. I think she's happy where she's at, and I don't
If I
blame
were
her.
her, I would not.
That's
I
right.
I envy where she's at right now.
That's
Like, what an
right.
awesome spot to be in. Like, you won it twice. Like,
Yeah.
what more could you do?
Hmm.
It's just it's a really cool spot to be in. If I were her, I'd be right there with her.
That's right. And I remember because we had a conversation with Mark after prejudging before the first Olympia that she won.
Okay.
And he said then, he was like, yeah, our goal is for her to win two titles and then she'll be done and
Yeah.
work on business and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, that's exactly what they're doing. More power to them. I mean,
Yeah.
that's you're winning in life. That's the whole point.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's, Francielli just came out and said she's not coming back, right now or this season for wellness. It's just you get to a point as an athlete, I'm close to there too, where your time's up.
That's
You
right.
know that you've kind of done whatever you wanted to do here. And of course, we love our fans. We love the people that root us and want
Yep.
us on that stage, but we're human at the end of the day. We're not
Right.
machines. And, family comes first. Our bodies comes,
100%.
first. And at the end of the day, too, it's like what I always talk to my athletes about, when you're trying to or you're having issues with motivation and discipline is what's your why.
Yep.
And if you're lacking on your why and the sport is no longer your why, then you may need to change your goals.
Right.
So
And there's nothing wrong with that. And there's also nothing wrong with taking on a different role in the sport either. Like we are talking about, like for you, it's the coaching aspect of it. You know what I mean? For Jen Dory, it's probably her, business aspect of it too, like influencer
Promoting.
type stuff and all that. Everybody's gonna be a little bit different. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, no.
Take what you've learned and what you've earned and spin it into what you want,
Give back and give back to the sport. That's what we
Right.
all try to do for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So, on that topic too, I mean, flipping over to what we're going to talk about today, which is I'd just like to take a moment to welcome our new channel partners, Prozis. If you are unfamiliar with them, go ahead and go down into my description box now, click on the link, go check out their site. They are the leading supplement sports nutrition company based out of Portugal, been around for 17 years. You might be asking what makes Prozis unique? Well, everything that they make is made in-house or with trusted partners. They have to go through rigorous testing in Portugal in order to even get any products on the market. So what you're gonna find really high quality, pure supplementation. And one of the biggest things for me is I have some GI issues. So being able to eat some of these more healthy protein treats and things like that and not have any gut issues, oh, worth its weight in gold. Go check them out. Click on the link in my description box below. Use the code Cuties10 to get all of your discounts and even some special surprises. They're always putting out some amazing promotions. Let them know that I sent you and let me know what you think. Thanks again for watching and thank you for supporting our channel. Now, go optimize your own athletic abilities and check out Prozis.com. The skincare and makeup and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I know that sounds like a trivial thing, but I mean, part of our sport is the beauty aspect of it too, and it's a big deal. Like people don't realize. I preach it all the time because I'm about to turn 44 in a week, so it's like I went to urgent care yesterday. Long story short, I had a thing in my ear. I had to get it taken care of. And the first thing the doctor said to me when he walked in was, "You're almost 44." I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I mean, you look good. I was like, yes, I take care of myself. The first thing people see, we've talked about this several times when you walk into the room is your skin. The first thing people see is your face, and to be frank, a lot of people in our industry, a lot of women in our industry don't take good enough care of that kind of thing. So, it starts from the inside out. I think the first thing is your nutrients that you're ingesting. That's the first and foremost. So, um, this also goes back to what we talk about depleting and things like that. As much as you want to say that bodybuilding is fitness and health, it's not. When we get into those last few weeks, we look and feel like death most of the time. So that reflects on our skin, and that reflects in what we do daily and things like that. So yeah, I just wanted to thought we'd go into a little bit about what we do to kind of try to take care of ourselves outside of the food nutrition aspect of it. So um skincare is important. What's something that you would say is like an essential for you?
Well, when I came into this sport, honestly, I didn't do anything skincare wise. I was really blessed growing up with like really great skin. And then when I turned 21, I started having really bad hormone problems. And that was
Mhm.
also kind of the time that I was, figuring out bodybuilding and things like that. So um I developed adult acne later on in life, and I've been struggling with it for years. And honestly, within the last year, I finally found somebody out here who is an acne specialist. So I go once a month for facials, and it's not like a frou-frou facial. It's, we go in and she hasn't had to, but extracts any kind of, stuff that I have going on my skin. We always do dermaplaning to take
Mhm.
off like all the little like hair and the peach fuzz. And then she does what's called a diamond glow facial on me. So it's like a little, it has like a serum in it with a little, it almost feels like sandpaper. And just kind of smooths the face.
Yep.
And I have like products morning and night that I do. So I would say my monthly facials, ever since I've started doing those, my skin has never looked better. We're in a sport where we are sweating all the time. Most of us do not have the luxury to go home and shower and wash our face right away. So that's all just kind of sitting on our face. And it's no surprise to you that with the extreme dieting and hormones and peds and all this, like we have lots of changes going on internally with hormones. And so that
Mhm.
all is going to present on your skin.
Yep.
So I would say for sure, like my tried and true right now is like making sure that I schedule with her every 4 weeks. So I'm getting some sort of professional help to like cleanse my pores, get everything off my skin, get it nice, clean, fresh face. And then just having like that touch, like a personal trainer or like a coach, having someone that's in there, like, this is what you're doing well. Let's add this product in this month. Let's do this, just to make sure that my face is staying the way that it should.
Yep. No, I agree with that. And it's funny because I've done facials here and there, that kind of thing. Since I've been out in Vegas more, my skin has been so dry that I was like, I need to figure out a better routine. You know what I mean? So, um, I actually started doing facials myself about once a month now too. So I went about a month ago, and then actually I went in and I found a new injector for my face stuff and everything. Just I don't know, a week and a half ago or something like that. And one of the reasons why I went to them is that I was searching online, all that kind of stuff. One of the reasons why I went to them is because they offer a facial with your like Botox or whatever it is that you do. So the
Oh,
first thing
cool.
that you do when you go in is you get the mini facial. They don't do full extractions and things like that because they're going to be injecting your face. You know what I mean? But enough to clean the skin and hydrate and all that kind of thing before you get injected. And so I went and did that, and it was great. I was like, okay, this is like you said, like my skin has never felt better than after doing these facials and things like that. So like I take care of my skin at home too, and I do exfoliate. I don't exfoliate every day. That's the other thing too. A lot of girls do that. Don't exfoliate every
Do
day.
not do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta be careful with your skin. But
Yeah.
yeah, exfoliation is very, very important, but you want to do it like once a week, twice a week, that kind of thing. That's it. And it helps to absorb the nutrients better and things like that from your moisturizers and all of that as you go for that too. But like I said, like they went in, did the facial, and then I went in and did my injections. So this was the first time that I've ever used Daxify. Have you ever used that one?
Everybody always asks what I use, and I could not tell you. I just tell my injector what I want, and I'm like, do it.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
I was like, I've heard of Daxify, I just never done it.
Okay.
I
I
went
heard it
in
lasts
for
longer. Is that why you did it?
yes,
Okay.
correct.
Okay.
Partly that was why. So Daxify, like I said, I've heard of it, but I never done it. When I went in to do my injections this last time, I was going for Botox. I've done Botox, I've done Dysport. Um, it depends on the injector as far as which one I liked better. Sometimes the Botox is better, sometimes the Dysport was better. Just depends. Also, probably depends on how they inject. What the product, whatever, all that kind of stuff. So the last several times I've done it's been Botox. Botox tends to be a little bit stronger than Dysport. Dysport has a little bit of a softer kind of look to it versus like Botox freezes you a little bit more. So anyway, so I went in for Botox, and she's like, I actually would recommend Daxify, and she started telling me the reasons why. Like you said, one of the reasons why is that most people think that it lasts about a month longer than Botox does. The units are a little bit different too. So like here in I'm going to say it wrong, Nevada, 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 Nevada. I got it. Here in Nevada.
Nevada.
Yeah, it's an I have to get the sign. Okay, here in Nevada, here you have to buy 50 units at a time. You can't split it up. You have to buy 50 units. For most people, 50 units is like half a face. So like if you want to do your full face, you got to do 100 units, that kind of thing.
Yeah, they call it like a baby tox, right?
Yeah.
50
Yeah.
units.
Yeah. So typically what I do with touch ups is 50 units. That's typically
Yeah.
what I do. So I was going in for that. And she said, well, the Daxify, she goes, it's $100 more. She goes, but you get 100 units, which is, she goes, in my opinion, it's about the same as getting like 75 units of Botox. So I was like, okay, well, let's just go ahead and try it, because the difference with this too is that she's going to do full face. So she did my, what I typically do, my crow's feet, my forehead, all that stuff, but also did my jawline and my chin, which I've never had done before. So once it started kicking in, it felt really weird. I was like, all of a sudden my chin is frozen. Okay, this is odd. But the other part with Daxify too is that it kicks in literally immediately, like from the second they inject it. So I've never felt that before. Like I didn't, she put the mirror in front of my face. She's like, oh, you can see it already. You're starting to lift. And I was like, I don't see it. But then when I looked in the main mirror, like the big mirror, I was like, oh, I actually can see this. Like she did this side first. So this side started lifting, like as she put the injections in.
Wow, that's
And
so cool.
yeah, I was like, whoa. First of all, I felt it. That was the first thing, which is weird. Like I felt it like pull
Pull.
as she put the injections in. I was like, oh damn. I was like, okay. And the funny part too is like, because I do my progress photos every week, so I've been looking at my progress photos to see if my face looks better. So the last 2 weeks I was like, my progress photos yesterday versus what they were 2 weeks ago, I was like, damn. I was like, I do look like I got a whole refresh on my face. I was like, all right, cool. So yeah, I mean it did. And she said, she's like, of the people that I had that switched over to Daxify, she goes, I feel like 90% of them like it, 10% don't. So she's like, you may be part of that 10%, but you might as well give it a shot and try it. So far I do like it. Now we'll have to see if it lasts longer. If it does last longer, like my Botox lasts about 3 months. So if the Daxify lasts for 4, then that's worth it. I mean, especially because it's $100. It was $100 extra, and I got the full face. So in reality, it was actually cheaper. You know what I mean? So when you're talking about value, so we'll see. But so far, I was really happy with it, especially like I said, getting that initial lift when the when that first went in. I was like, damn. And then like 3 days later, I started feeling my chin like start to freeze up, and I was like, this
It's
is
always so
weird.
weird when that happens where you're like, "Oh, it's settling in."
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm gonna see how that goes.
That's funny. I had my appointment on Monday. I was actually like, I was walking on the treadmill at the gym on Monday and I was looking at my crow's feet. I'm like, holy shit, I need my Botox really bad. They texted me that day. They're like, Jay, it's your 3 months. Do you want to come in for Botox? I'm like, yes.
Yes,
So I
I
already
do.
had a facial on Monday. So I'm going to get my facial done. And then they squeeze my injectors in the same office. So they squeeze me in
Okay,
right after. So maybe I'll try the Dexify and I will
there you go.
report back.
Yeah,
Yes. But
I
I'm a
mean, so far I'm
little afraid to
impressed.
do it because I'm competing in San Antonio next week. I have done this before where I've gotten Botox and it wasn't before to the 2022 Olympia and my face was frozen. But this injector that I've been using in Arizona, she is very, very conservative. I actually have to push her a little bit. So
Yeah,
I'm worried but not. But
yeah, yeah,
I'll
yeah,
report back. I'll let you guys
yeah,
know.
yeah, and that's the important part too, is to get an injector that you really like and you trust.
Yeah.
The person I went to before her here in Vegas, it was fine. Not nothing special to report, right?
Yeah.
This lady that I went to, I just went on, I literally just went on to Yelp and found the ones that had the best reviews. And to be honest, when I looked at the business itself, it looked a little, for lack of a better term, ghetto. Looked at like it just didn't look like a doctor. You know what I mean? And I was like, well, when I showed up, the place not only does the injections and all that, but does the facials, does lashes, does this, does that, does the whole thing, like permanent makeup, everything. I was like, okay, now I understand where the branding came from. I get it now. It's more
Yeah.
of a beauty place versus a doctor's office. Two different kinds of branding. So I got it. And she was really cool. Like I liked how she just kind of broke everything down and said, this is what I would do with you. This is what I would suggest. Because the next thing that I want to do is I want to do filler. And she's like, for you, I wouldn't do filler. She's like, I do Sculptra. I was like, well, I've done Sculptra before. So yeah, I could definitely do Sculptra,
And
that
you
kind of
liked it,
thing. I
right?
did. Yep,
Yeah.
I did. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So for those that don't know the difference, Sculptra works with your own body to produce collagen. So what it does with filler, you get a very distinct filler kind of look, right? Versus Sculptra takes time for it to kick in. It takes a good like 6 weeks before you even start seeing anything from it, because it's your body producing its own natural collagen for that area. So it does take longer, but it's also not a foreign object. It's you. It's your body doing it. So it's got the pluses and minuses, just like anything else. And I did like the Sculptra effect. So she's like, yeah, I'll probably do Sculptra and then come back in like, I think she said 8 weeks or something like that and do it again, whatever it was. I can't remember the time frame that she said, but let it fully settle in and then do another vial of the Sculpture, and she's like, and you should be good with that. So
Yeah, and I've
that's what
done
I wanted
something
to say.
similar under my eyes. I've done the PRF
Yeah,
and then I've done the PDG, which is new.
yeah,
So the PRF is where they take your blood, spin it, make it a gel, and then put it in the under eyes.
yep,
And my injector in Tampa does this, and I love my injector in Tampa. I
yeah,
absolutely love her. She's amazing. She's an experience. Like she's so good.
yeah,
And I loved the PRF when I came to Arizona. One of my really good friends, Vic, who Sean, you've met, she's in this beauty space, and she was talking about the PDG, and it's like the new thing, and blah blah. Blah. So I did it with my injector, and you have to do it 3 rounds, which I did, and I just didn't see enough. I deal
yeah.
with a lot of dark under eye circles. All the women in my family do, and I did 3 rounds of it, and it helped, but I felt like with the PRF, like it was like immediate and it had that little bit of like the fullness under there too. So
Yeah,
like when I'm dieting and my face gets really, sunken, it just kind of like lifted it and brightened it. So
yeah,
but both treatments worked for sure. I just liked the PRF better for under eye and
yeah.
a little bit of cheek fullness too.
I did do filler under my eyes. What was that? Gosh, almost, I think it was 2 years ago at this point. I haven't done it since. But because that's the same thing, I have the dark circles under my eyes too. So it's just now that I'm starting to see that kind of come back at this point. It's been a couple years. So again, going back to, that's why I was talking to her about fillers, and she said the Sculpture would be a better option than doing fillers there again. So
Yeah.
um so yeah, so again, it's a lot of it is just knowing the results that you want, and also just trying stuff like we just said, like that sometimes you just don't know until you try it. You may love it and then somebody else hates it or vice versa, you know.
And I think that's why a lot of people, like, don't because they do feel like it's so permanent, like, but with
Yeah,
the Botox, it really
that's not,
does yeah, it doesn't last that long, so if you do hate it, it's not gonna be there very long at all. That's
yeah,
the plus and the minus, it works, but
yeah.
it's not there very long and it's expensive, but if I talk to any person about aging and I'm like, "What's the secret to aging?" The first thing that they always say is Botox.
Yep,
Males too.
yep.
Males say it too.
Mhm.
So it's definitely something that's, keeping us looking youthful. I think that we're all chasing that these days. Like, how do we age in reverse? How do we keep our youth, etc. And it really does. It starts with like the skin, and obviously what Sean said too is like what we put into our bodies. And like I'm a huge believer, like your skin on your face is going to be reflective of what's going on internally, whether that's
100%.
a food issue or a hormone issue as well. So that's the first thing, and then obviously the second thing is taking those extra parameters
Yeah,
of, injecting and, doing things. And listen, all natural's cool too,
yeah.
just for all of us that are chasing that, that not aging look.
Yeah,
Here we
fuck that
are.
all natural shit. Like, nah, I'm gonna go to my grave with more plastic in me than I don't know, than a I don't know, plastic, I don't
Bring
know.
my injector over
I
on my
don't care.
deathbed, please. Please.
Right? No. But there's just so much advancement in modern medicine too that it's like, why not take advantage of it, you know? And that's something we talk about with this sport too. It's like a lot of the women in their 30s and 40s look better than the girls in their 20s because they're just taking care of themselves better at that point. They've also got the funds to be able to do this a lot better than somebody in their 20s most of the time. So it's like, girls that are getting into their 30s and 40s do have a significant advantage a lot of the time when it comes to this sport, you
Oh
know?
my God, I get time hops. So I just got one last night and it was of Drew trying on his tux for our wedding. And you
Oh
could see
God.
me in the background in the mirror. And I'm like, I don't even look like the same person. I'm
I
like,
know.
what? It's crazy.
You
It's
know.
cool. It's really cool to see, but it's crazy.
Well, I
Yeah.
get it all the time now. Like I have this like jawline now, and that was part of the Daxify too, that like to pull up and everything. When I was younger, I had this fat face. Like it just is what it
Same.
is. Yeah,
Same.
I had the chipmunk cheeks, the round face, all that. I'm like, yeah, I don't got that anymore. It's like
We
it's just
lost we
not.
lost that.
It's just natural
Snapshot.
aging. It just is what it is when you're lean all the time. Like I even talk about that with my implants. Like when I first got my implants done, my implants were I think they were 475 or something like that, or it's 425, something like that for the implants. My breast size is the same now. This is my third set than they were the first time, but my implant size is like 725 now because I just don't have the tissue there anymore that I had when I was younger. I don't have that body fat anymore. And I look back on it and I'm like, damn, like, that's a big change, but it's the same actual breast size now.
So this is gonna be and so I'm getting my breast redone. I'm so excited. In literally like 4 weeks. I can't believe it. Literally a month.
Yeah.
I'm getting him done. Well, no, a month till Olympia, so like 5 weeks.
Yeah.
But I just can't wait. But I was literally saying to Drew that I wonder if I bring my suit top, if Dr. Morales will like put in a size, put the suit top on, take a photo, like put a different
Yeah.
size in, put the suit on and like show Drew and be like, all right, what size are we going for?
Yeah. I literally when I went in, I said I want to go with the biggest cup size that still looks like it fits my body. That's what I said. I was like, I didn't want to
Exactly.
look like porn star tits, but at the same time, I want boobs.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't want to look like I don't have them. Like I'm gonna
Right.
pay for them.
Yeah. I like my size now. But as soon as I got them done, I was like, I want a little bit bigger. I've always
Yeah.
said that since I got them done. And so, if anybody's considering breast augmentation and you're between sizes,
Go
I
up.
have always heard women go, "I wish I went up." So go up a
Yes.
size. I've
100%.
never ever heard anyone say, "Man, I wish I went down," or "I
Nope.
picked the right one." Everybody always says, "I wish I went a little bit bigger." And it's so
Mhm.
hard, especially the first time you get your boobs done, because all you have is the bra with the thing in there, and it's really hard to know. So
Well,
yeah,
yep.
I'm like at 385 right now, so I'm like, do I go like 425,
Oh yeah.
450? But like I don't want it to be like completely different. So
Yeah.
it's I don't know. It's boob
Yeah.
shopping's hard.
It's hard. It's hard. Well, and you're right. You always want to go bigger because this is the other part of it too. Because when you come out of surgery, you're swollen, right? So you see yourself swollen first, and you're like, "Ooh, those are
And they're
nice,"
all up here.
and And once they settle in, they're like, where'd they go? You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, you need to go. If you're questioning it, go bigger. If you're questioning it, go bigger. I told the story before, but like I had an injury, so I had to go smaller, so I had to have reconstructive done. And the doctor at the time, he told me, he's like, you're not gonna like them. He's like, you're gonna want to go back bigger once you're healed. And he was 100% right. He was 100% right. So he's like, we just got to do this because this is all your body can handle right now. I'm like, okay, we can do
It's
that.
just one of those things where you just don't know until you do it and you get there, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So take it from us, go bigger if you're questioning it.
That's it. That's it.
So back to the skincare thing. So yeah, having a good like morning and night routine is always very important too. There should be different products that you use at night versus daytime, all those kinds of things. I do usually use SPF all the time when it comes to the actual lotion. Yep, there you go. There you go. I got
Tinted.
my day cream sitting right here. I don't even know what this says. It says Dermalactives Purifying Day Creams. That's what I use right here.
Okay.
Um and serums and things like that too. Like I have one of my night serums sitting here. It's a night repair corrective. It's a charcoal based type of corrective serum. So find what works for you, but I find I always wash my face with the micellar water too. Like that's important. Get all of that the makeup off. Do not go to sleep with your makeup on. That's terrible for your skin. Get it off. This stuff works really really well. And toner, that's also part of my routine as well. Just basics, micellar water and toner first. That's the first thing that I do.
Yeah. Good cleanser for sure. And then also something that I feel like is like hot, but people like question are the clean towels.
Yeah.
Have you seen these?
Yep.
Yeah, these are amazing, and I
Okay.
definitely noticed a difference with using them, and they're really big. So, like, if you were wash your face in the morning and at night, you could always cut it in half and use it.
Okay.
But these are amazing, so you're not using the same towel on your face over and over again. So this was one of the things that the acne specialist told me to get, and we've been
Okay.
investing it. Drew's been doing it too, and our skin is a lot better. And I
Nice.
don't take these on the road with me, and I definitely notice a difference when I don't
Okay.
use them. So
Okay. Yeah, because when I'm on the road, I take like the makeup wiper removers and all that kind of stuff. That's what I
same.
took with me because you're right.
There's only
But yeah,
so much stuff you could bring, so
yeah.
something's gotta stay home.
Right, right, right. And like for me too, like typically when I'm cleansing my face, I take a shower in the morning and at night. So that's typically when I'm doing it. So or after my workout or whatever too. That's the other thing too. Like if you can manage it, try not to work out with makeup on. That's the thing too.
I don't
One of the
know how you
best
guys do that.
one of the best things that you can do actually is to wash your face prior to working out and putting all your serums and stuff on when you go to work out because it opens up your pores when you get hot and sweaty and all of that stuff sinks right in. So if you ever are questioning that kind of thing, actually put all your stuff on prior to the gym, just not makeup.
Yeah, because like, I've been really sweaty on cardio lately. They've been
Mm.
having me run and do elliptical. So what I've been doing in the morning is waking up, brushing my teeth, not even washing my face, just going down and doing cardio, and then I'll come back up and shower and wash my face, and then I'll put everything on, like, my face stuff. I
Yeah.
do some work, and then I go to the gym.
Okay.
And it's been that routine's been working really, really well, but I feel like where people have start to develop skin issues, especially in prep, is when they're sitting in
100%.
their sweat all day long. There is a product which I've talked about on the podcast before. It's called the Hyacinth Mist,
Hmm.
and it's like a hand sanitizer for your face.
Yep.
So if you're somebody that just doesn't have the luxury of being able to go home, spray it all over your face, spray it all over your body. Make sure you bring a change of clothes, guys. I used to do this all the time. I used to get to my gym at 4 a.m. I'd be there all day long doing cardio, training athletes, not getting into my first shower till 8 p.m., 9 p.m. at night. Gross, I know,
Yeah.
but that mist really helped during those times for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, and we've talked about this too before. Like we're talking about face right now, but just your body too. Like wearing those tight leggings with sweat all the time is really, really bad for bacteria and all that kind of stuff as well. For the hoo ha.
Yeah, I mean, but your back too, like, a lot of people get
Yep.
like the back stuff and the
Yep.
back acne, totally normal. But like when clients come up to me and they're like, "Why am I getting that?" The first thing I say is, "Well, how long are you sitting in your dirty clothes for?" And we all do it. It's not
Yep.
meant to be like dirty or anything like that. You don't even think about it. But I
Yep.
mean, imagine your body's just literally sitting there in that dirty shirt all day long. So
Yeah.
yeah, just bring a change of clothes.
Well, and especially in those environments like you were in Florida, the humid, hot climates, that's terrible. That's like a
Oh my
breeding
god.
ground. Breeding ground for that crap. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so bad.
Yeah. You literally walk outside you to go to the gym and you start sweating in
Yep.
Florida. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And again, it's that moisture. So that's where that shit grows, man. Got to get rid of it. Blech,
Well,
blech.
and to be fair, like I hated lotion. Hated lotion. I
Yeah,
preferred alligator skin when I lived in Florida because nobody wants to walk outside in the humidity when you feel like a slip and slide all over
yep,
your skin. It's
that's
gross.
right.
So really
That's
when I
right.
got out here, like that's when I really started getting, really good with my lotion on my face, on my body, especially to combat the dry climate. But I
100%.
didn't realize how much moisturizer affects how your skin responds to anything.
Hmm.
Like just being able to accept a serum or
Yep.
accept, anything that your dermatologist is putting on you. The first thing always that I hear from any kind of, medical professional is, are you moisturizing? Are you moisturizing? Are you moisturizing? Are you moisturizing? Like moisturizer,
SPF.
water is like number one.
Yep. And I'll be the first one to say too, like SPF on your face. Like I lay out in the sun. I go get sun. We've talked about this before. Vitamin D. I get sun probably twice a week, but I always cover my face.
Yeah, me too.
Always. I got the SPF on and I got a hat on. Always.
Same.
So it's just you've got to protect that skin. It's the most fragile skin that you have on your body. You know.
Yeah, and I want it to look like this, and I've grown up in Florida, so I've seen the, oldies that have been laying out in the
Yes.
sun since they were 18 years old with
Yep.
those, aluminum things on their face, and
That's
they all
right.
look very brown and leathery. I don't wanna look like that.
Yep.
No, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah,
Some other things too, like I was just sitting here looking at what I've got sitting in front of me. I've got my retinol, I've got eye cream. So eye cream's important too. I was laughing. There was a comedian. He was doing a whole bit on the fact that you have to use different creams for different parts of your face, and that the eye cream is the most expensive one that you use the least amount of, and all this kind of shit. It was making me laugh. But it's true. Your eye, the again, the skin around your eyes is the most fragile. So
so
you
sensitive.
got to take care of it. Yeah. So again, I like that's a lot of people use retinol, tretinoin, all those kinds of things. Those things are really helpful as well.
Yeah, I feel like they say, like, once you turn 25 or something, you should be on a retinol or a
Hmm.
Retin-A. I'm
Hmm.
actually not on one. I keep asking my specialist or whatever, and she's like, "No, you don't need it right now. Your skin's good." I'm like, "Okay, I'm
Yeah.
34, sure."
I know. Well, you got to be careful with that stuff too, because it's super strong. Like the first time I
Yeah,
ever went on it, tretinoin was the first time I went on it, and it was my skin started peeling like a mofo. But I was like, this is way too strong. Like you have to use like a little dime, little pea. It's teeny tiny little amount. Yeah, it was bad.
that's a good point too. Like, if you're on anything like Spirlactone or like Accutane or anything like that, don't add anything like that
Right.
until you talk to your medical professional.
Yep,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
This people don't realize how strong that stuff can be. It's like, oh, it's just a lotion. No, it's not.
Yeah, Nikki actually got a new product weeks ago, and she got a burn all over her
Oh
face, like a
wow.
grade 2 burn or whatever. So
Yeah.
it can happen for sure because some people are more sensitive than others. So
Yeah.
yeah, so if you're gonna switch products, I would say to start with like a little amount in like one area for the first time, see how you respond for sure.
Yeah. And that's one thing that scares me is like I know a lot of people do like chemical peels and stuff like that. That shit scares me. I'm like, I just don't want my whole face to fall off?
I do one. I actually do it, and
Ah.
it's burny. It's a
Yeah.
lot. I've got a high pain tolerance, but I'm like, oh, this is like right on my face. But I do
Oh
feel like
god.
once it comes off, it's like your face is so like bright and
Yeah.
dewy and soft. So I love the afterglow of it. But during it, it's a little spicy.
Yeah. I can understand that. Like it's the same concept as doing the facials. Like I'll just stick to the facials and just be good with that because it's nice and plump.
I know. I always say to Drew, I'm like, I don't want to go to a facial and do a massage where it's like a nice facial massage. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like not like for
Yeah.
like a purpose.
Yeah, I did one of those like I don't know, what is it, 2 months ago now? It was really nice. The terrible part was like I was so tired I fell asleep like while she was doing I kept waking myself up snoring. I probably woke myself up snoring 10 times. I felt
Don't you
so
hate
bad. I
that?
was like, oh, I was so embarrassed. It's like I know I like you can tell this feels really good because clearly I'm falling asleep every fucking 5 minutes,
But then
but
you're missing it.
no, it's just like used to do that too. When I used to get my eyelashes done all the time, I'd wake myself up snoring during the eyelash nap, and I'm like, oh, that's so embarrassing.
I did that twice. Like, I was like,
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. So, oh well, it is what it is. It's their job. They're used to
I
it.
do miss eyelash extensions. I've had them off for a
I
while, but
know,
like
me
this is how
too.
I look every day. Like no makeup, a little bit of
Yep.
the toner on there. That's literally it.
Well, I
But
will
so
say, same. I don't use eyelash extensions anymore, but I now have this peptide mascara. It's called Grande Mascara Conditioning Peptide Mascara. So I've what is it called? Is it BoxyCharm? I don't remember what it is, but I get shipped new products every
The
month, right?
samples.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which they give you full product and all that
Oh,
stuff, which
cool.
is great. So like this is one of them. And since I've been using this, my eyelashes have feel like they've grown a lot. Again, peptides. I mean, it is what it is. But this is the best mascara. It's just it was in there, and it's yeah,
That's funny you said that. Was Nikki said she started using like a lash whatever serum, and
yeah.
she says that she feels like it's really helped too.
Yeah, huge. Like I've tried eyelash serums, things like that before too. I don't know if it's maybe just because it's with the mascara, so you get the effect of the look along with the peptide that it keeps me using it or whatever it is. But it's by far the best mascara I've used. So
That's awesome. That's
yeah,
awesome. And that's
yeah,
the thing is like the eyes are the window to the soul, so
right.
like going back to like the retinol and like, lash extensions, like that's
Mhm.
like what we look at.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Um, and on the peptide note too, I do use the GHKCU too for your skin and all that kind of stuff too. So I've
Have you
been
been
using it.
liking it?
So the first time I used it, I felt like I got my skin. I was using injections. And I used it in my abs and in my face, and like I felt like I could see a difference. Right. This new one that we have from our new provider from what is it out?
Oxygen.
Yeah, Oxy 2, whatever it is. It's stronger by a lot. So, like to the point where I'm not injecting it in my face because it burns too much. So I'm actually injecting it like below my bikini line, and I'm only doing it 5 days a week, which before I was doing it 7 days a week. So I'm only doing it below my bikini line because it burns like it burns, right? Which so I'm like, okay, so we'll see how this vial goes and we'll go from there. But I had to knock it down to 5 days a week versus seven because it was just like it was one of those things where I just felt like a constant burning sensation in that area for a good day, you know?
Yeah, it's like I hear like not even really mixed reviews. Like I know a lot of people are on the GHKCU or on the glow peptide, which is the
Yeah.
GHKCU. I think it's got a blend of things. I was just talking to Brittany Hamilton
Yeah.
about it last night. But it's like I'm like when people are on it, I'm like, do you like it? Does it
Yeah.
help? And they're like, I don't know. I think
Yeah.
so. It's like nobody's like, yes, this helps. So I'm like, does
Yeah.
it help? Does it not?
Right. So my thing is like at this point, like I said, I'm good with the Daxify on my face. I don't need to inject my face anymore with this stuff. I was trying to extend the life of my Botox, why I was doing it in my face initially. Um, but I want to see what it does with my skin texture just in general when I start to cut again and things like that too. So again, going back to like I'm trying to prevent it now so that when I cut, my skin has more elasticity to it. And I'm specifically, I mean, where we lose as we get older is in our abs and our glutes and stuff like that. So that's why I'm doing it up in my bikini line. So
Got it.
I'm hoping it's going to help with that when I start to lean down again.
You'll have to report back to us.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. It's a work in progress at this point. But like I said, I was like, there was one night where I injected it before I went to bed, and it literally prevented me from going to sleep. I had to get an ice pack and put it on the injection site, and I took Tylenol. I'm like, oh my God, this is terrible. Like, so I just have to know when to actually inject it as well.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Let us know.
Um,
Report back when you start
I
prep.
will. I will. Um, Something else I wanted to mention too is finding a good foundation for your skin. This is something that I've really struggled with because I feel like most foundations that I use cake up and it drives me absolutely insane. Like I hate that look of just like too much makeup on kind of thing, but I like having like a medium to full coverage, you know?
Same.
So
Flawless.
yeah. So again, this particular foundation I actually got through that BoxyCharm thing again. So now I'm just buying it on my own. It's Morphe. What is it? I can't even see it. Light form from Morphe.
Okay.
So this has by far been my favorite mascara foundation that I've used right here.
Okay.
So they have a huge array of like shades and things like that too, which is another thing that's a problem for me because usually when I get or I keep saying mascara, foundation, usually when I get foundation, it's a little bit too much on the yellow side, a little too warm, or it's a little bit too fair, like a little bit too cool, and I look like a ghost kind of thing, and I can't find something in between. So this is a medium and it's a neutral. I'm sorry, no, it's a medium to cool. I'm sorry, it's a medium cool, and it's perfect for my skin tone. Because the
Perfect.
other part of it too is like my face is a little bit lighter than my body because I don't tan my face, right? So this helps to kind of blend that together. The one that they sent me initially in the box was a that one was a neutral, which ended up being a little bit too yellowy on my skin. This cooler tone is perfect. It's perfect.
Awesome.
It's the 10, I think it's 10. Yeah, medium 10 cool is perfect. So again, it's really like it's medium coverage, so it's not full coverage, but it blends all of the skin tone together. This is my favorite foundation for sure for me.
That's like your everyday. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. 100%. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't use it for stage. It's not heavy enough for stage, but for just every day, I've got it on now. For every day, it's perfect.
Yeah, I'm using a Dior right now. I don't love it, but again, I
Yeah.
don't like really put on makeup like my everyday. I do like that BB cream that's
Yeah.
like a tinted, and it has more SPF in it, but
Mhm.
like I like just minimal because like what we were just talking about, like with training, like I do not like feeling like I have something on my face that drives me wild. So
Yeah.
minimal on the week is better. I try to keep everything very, very simple to the
Yeah.
point. I don't have time to be doing makeup for 10, 15 minutes every day, if
Yeah.
that.
And that's how this is too. Like because I've tried the BB cream, the CC cream, and all that kind of stuff too. And even on my skin for that, most of the time it feels like it's just too much. It feels like it's
Interesting.
cakey. Like
Interesting.
this is I don't know what it is about this that I like so much. It's a medium coverage foundation, but it's just maybe it's because of my skin being so dry to begin with. It's liquidy. Like it's a very thin, like it's a very like watery texture,
Oh,
right?
wow. Yeah.
So it's not heavy
It
at
probably
all.
makes you feel, like, moisturized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very like if I didn't put powder on to like set it, it's very dewy. Like
Mm,
it's a glowy kind of look, right?
yeah.
So I do tend to depends. And again, if I'm going out during the day, it's really not a big deal. I'll just put some setting spray on and I'm good. But like if I'm trying to go out at night or something, I do set it with powder and all that too.
Oh, those are all things that go whoop, way over my head.
I like the dewy look during the day, but like if I'm going out, like for dinner or out or whatever to the
Matte.
bar or whatever, like it needs to be set. It
Yeah.
needs to be matte, right?
Needs to
So
not go anywhere.
right,
No sliding around.
exactly. That's right. That's right. So I really feel like when it comes to foundations and stuff like that, you have to test different products that work with your skin. Also the application, like I just took that off with my little sponge. Like everybody uses a little bit different type of application. With the sponge it's going to be a little bit lighter application because it does actually absorb, the sponge absorbs some of the makeup, versus if you use your hands it's going to be full coverage. Same thing with like a brush. If you use like a foundation brush or something, it's going to give you a little bit fuller coverage that way. So you just have to figure out what kind of application you like to.
I do brush and then I go in with the
Mhm.
sponge and just kind of blend it all out.
Yeah, yeah, and again, it's gonna depending on the product, it's going to set on your skin a little bit different
Lays
too.
differently. Well, and I think too, it's just like you're saying, like it's just like person to person dependent on how they
Correct.
feel with it on. We could both try the same product on and you feel it's dewy and I feel it's dry and it depends on
Yep.
our skin and our brain and
Yep. Yep.
this is the thing about, skincare. It's not a one size fits all approach for sure.
Yep. And then it goes back to your makeup and stuff like that you put on as well. Like something I always use is blush. I know a lot of people don't use blush. I use blush.
Yeah.
I think it makes you just look a little bit healthier, youthful, that kind of thing too. And again, depending on what you do, I've got a blush sitting here that I just got. This one has a powder and a cream.
Oh, cool.
So I literally just got it yesterday. So I've got the powder on now. I typically go with powder, but if you again want more of like a dewy look, then you can do the cream, right? So sometimes I'll do that during the day. Haven't done it with this one yet, so I don't know what it's like. But then that, and then
What
also
brand
I
is that
got
one?
this is Paranova.
Is that like
So
a
again,
drugstore? Where'd you get it from?
nope, got it from the Bossy Charm again.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So this is how I tend to test my products, and if I like it, I keep it. So like I said, like the Morphe I've capped, the different some of the different skincare I've capped. So far I do like this. It's just a basic cheek palette, which I do like.
Do you get that
uh,
like once a month?
yeah, once a month.
Cool.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep. So a lot of the skincare stuff I really like that they send in that for the different face washes and things like that. Like I have this like vitamin C enzyme face wash. It's a light exfoliant too. So like you use it after you've cleansed your face, then you put it on, you let it sit for a minute, and then you just wipe it off. It's very, very light exfoliant, so you can do it a couple times a week. But it's a brightening cream, so or brightening exfoliant, so it helps to brighten the skin and everything too. So I really like
Cool.
that product that they sent. There's another one. There was an enzyme one that I just started using I've just started using it last week and I do like it. It's like again, it's another one of these like it's not exfoliant, it's not like a hard exfoliant. It's a cream when it comes out. And then as you rub it, it kind of peels up a little bit. So it ends up being like an exfoliating wash as well, which I do like that one too.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, you got to try some different stuff. This is why I like that particular box, because there's certain ones I'm like, no, I'll never use that. And it just kind of sits there. But then there's other ones I'm like, no, I really like that. It's going to become part of my routine.
Yeah, well, and
Um,
too with your clients, with you doing
yeah.
makeup all the time too, I'm sure you can use a lot of that on the road.
100%.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah.
awesome. That's
Oh
cool.
yeah. 100%. So, and again, going back to when you've got all those samples and you can use stuff for different people's skin texture and things like that as well.
Yeah,
So it's helpful for
that's
sure.
awesome. I didn't know that
Yeah.
they were still doing those boxes. I remember those way back in the day.
Yeah, 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 yeah. There's different ones. Like I used to do the Itsy one, which is the smaller one, and that's one
Yeah.
that gives you like the trial sizes. This one, BoxyCharm, gives you the full size, which is why I like that. It's only like I think it's $39 a month,
Oh, it's
and you
nothing.
get 5 full size products in there, so it's 100% worth it. Like you're getting more than triple your value basically.
Yeah.
Even if you only use one of the products that they send you each month, it's worth it still.
Yeah, you're
You know?
essentially paying for one full product.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
right.
that's
Yeah.
cool. If you guys are somebody that like has no idea about makeup, that would be a really
Yeah.
cool thing to do.
Yeah. And then when you go in too, you can change your preferences as far as what you like and what you're looking for. Like I usually opt for skincare stuff. If you like more makeup stuff, you can opt for makeup stuff. And each month they give you, okay, complete your box kind of thing. So they'll give you the choices within the choices, right? So like they'll give you the option of like 5 different things to pick from, then you pick the one you want for your first choice. Then they give you an option of 5 more things to pick from, and you pick the one you want. So that's always helpful. So like if I know I need more face wash or something, I'm like, I make sure I
You'll
get one of
take
those
that.
each month, because if you don't do that, they'll just send you a bunch of like eyeshadow and like mascara and eyeliner. I'm like, I can only use so many shadow palettes,
Yeah.
like
I need something different.
so yeah, exactly. So, again, if I'm running out on something, then I know what I need to choose as one of my products for the next month. So
That's cool
it
that they
works
let
out.
you choose. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. You just have to stay on top of it. They send you an email before they send your box out, and if you don't respond to it, they just send you whatever based on like what you've had before, that kind of thing. So as long as you pay attention and you pick your products, they'll send you what you want.
That's so cool. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Should
So that's
definitely
one of
put
my
that in the
things.
show notes.
I know, right? I can stick that in. I'll stick a link into
Yeah,
the description box so you guys can go over there and check it out. And like I said, it's relatively inexpensive when you break it down. As far as even if you only use 1 or 2 products, you're saving money.
totally.
And it's an
Totally.
easy way to try new stuff too and find what you like.
Yeah, I don't have much comment on that on the makeup front, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, I do wear makeup every single day, so for me it's important. For me it's something that I want to love the makeup. Like I said, it took me forever to find an actual foundation that I like, and this foundation is my favorite foundation, and I got it through that
Through the
BoxyCharm. That's
box.
the first one. Yep. Hmm.
That's so
Yep.
cool.
I have so many bottles of like foundation, CC cream, BB cream, and stuff like just sitting there that I don't use because I'm like, I hated it the first time I tried it. And I'm just
You
like,
should
this is
do like
dumb.
a giveaway and like
Yeah.
make like a box.
Yeah. Or I could just give them to people when I do their makeup or something. If you like it,
That
take it,
too. Yeah, that too. Share the
I'm
love.
like, yeah, right. Yeah, I could do that too. That'll be the next thing. I'll be like, yeah, just take one. I'll have like a sample box, like the take one treat at Halloween.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, when you're doing
take
people's
take a
makeup.
treat.
Listen,
Take a
everybody
treat.
loves a free gift. Everybody
That's
loves a
right.
free gift.
Absolutely. And if you can get some use out of it, it's better than just sitting there and just going bad, So that's the
100%.
other thing too. Like that's something your makeup does expire, you guys. So don't just think you can use the same shadow palette for 5 years or whatever. You know what I mean? Make sure that you check those expirations. And usually it depends on what it is, but like creams and stuff like that, usually it's about 6 months to a year after the purchase date. So just you can Google all that kind of stuff too. Like if it's something where it's like mascara or it's lips or something like that, you do need to get rid of it like every few months. So just be aware of that because it collects bacteria. Stuff that's cream goes bad faster than something that's like a palette, like a powder or something like that. Powder lasts a little bit
Makes
longer
sense.
because again, it's not going to breed bacteria. So always think of, if like we were just talking about with the moisture and stuff like that, moisture breeds bacteria. So if it's moisture, you probably need to get rid of it every few months.
Yeah, I make a note, like, every December around Christmas time, like, to go through my makeup, get rid of anything, and, like, those are great Christmas gifts. Those are things that you
Yeah.
don't necessarily wanna buy for yourself, so you're like, "Here's my makeup, this is what I need, da, da, da." But, yeah, creams, get rid of those. I've
Yeah.
opened a bad cream before and put it on my face, and it had a terrible reaction.
Oh,
Terrible. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Because
I
I
can
never
imagine.
use it. So I could sit on a like a whatever, a foundation for years. But
Hmm.
don't do it. Don't do it.
Yep. It's bad. It's bad. So
Yeah.
just keep in the back of your mind, it's like just like anything else. Like if you put food out on the table, if it's got moisture, it's going to collect bacteria. It's the same thing when we're talking about this makeup and things like that. So just be very aware of what you're putting on your body, you know.
Yeah. Yes.
So with that, I think that's a good place to kind of wrap this up. Anything else that you wanted to add? Anything that we didn't talk about when it comes to what's in our, our skincare and makeup routine, that kind of thing?
No, you definitely covered it all. We have the makeup queen here,
I
skincare
know, right?
queen here. So,
Yeah. And the bottom
yes.
line when it comes to this stuff is you just have to try things and see what works for you, right? Like there's some things that are essentials, like we talked about before, making sure that you cleanse, make sure that you moisturize, SPF, those things are very, very important.
So the
Beyond that,
basics.
yeah, beyond the basics, your nutrition that you intake, all those kinds of things, your supplementation, all of that, beyond that, just try things and figure out what you like, and then once you find something, stick with it, just like anything else. Like we talk about that with bodybuilding, it's like once you find a routine that works, just stick with it. Same thing when it comes to this stuff. Once you find makeup products that you like, stick with it, you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
that's it.
It's not something you have to change all the time. That's for sure.
No,
Yes.
no, the only thing that changes for me is based on like the season. If it gets colder and my skin's not glowy anymore, then I gotta put on
More
a
blush.
light, yeah, right, or I gotta put on a lighter foundation or something, you know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
that's the only thing that changes. So as your skin texture changes, change with it, that kind of deal.
Yeah.
So, well, guys, that is going to wrap up our Behind the Bikini episode number 107. I think I'll change it if I fucked it up.
I was
But we
waiting.
are, I know, but we are closing in on the final month going into the Olympia. We are going to be starting the new qualification series coming up here. So, things are rolling. And then I really think that once we get into next year, I do think we're going to see a lot more excitement when it comes to the qualification series, which I'm really, really happy about. And it's gonna be fun to start strategizing again. We're gonna have more stuff to talk about when it comes to strategy now, which is fun. That's always fun. It's the brain.
Kicking it off for you guys next weekend. First one of
That's
the year,
right.
San
That's
Antonio. Let's
right.
go.
That's right. Yeah, actually, so we're not in peak week yet, but almost happy peak week.
Thank you. Thank you. As of tomorrow,
All
right? Yeah,
right.
tomorrow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your day, you guys. And as always, like, comment, subscribe. And for Behind the Bikini, yep, we are out. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.